Just had a really nice weekend away, which is so awesome during this time to feel like you can still do that. I went out to visit my friend who was staying with me, so I felt like it was safe. And she moved into this cute little cabin, and we were like surrounded by trees, and there was a lake nearby, and it was just really pretty. So, anyways, I also didn't super prepare for today because what I thought I would do is make my little like YouTube video with this afterwards and include the show that I did last week for the Pasadena Photography Art Center. It was a success in my mind because it's taken me a long time to feel comfortable, first of all, speaking about a lot of my past and also showing parts of my past. When I was younger, like probably till I was like 24, 25, I didn't even like speak about my past. I would in private sometimes to like a few people, but in general, I pretty much hid it. So to be where I am today, I think is a huge success, and I feel very proud of myself. Hey guys, thanks for joining. So I did this photography show last week, and I explained in that my struggle has been showing my mom in a certain way because I feel like, first of all, she probably wouldn't like that, like we all want to look our best. We don't want to show this like part of ourselves where we're like completely broken. And I think as a kid, you're pretty protective of your parents and you want them to look a certain way, and like you just want to protect them. So I definitely struggled with that a lot in the last like year, having captured like certain footage of my mom being really physically ill. And I feel like it was okay to start showing it because I came to this realization that I experienced that, and it wasn't like I set anything up or I made it happen. So it is, I think, the beauty in photography and being able to capture a moment as it is and to share that moment with others. And sometimes that moment's just not very pretty, but it's humanity and it's real. And, sometimes that might really be helpful to another to see that they're going through something similar. So what I'm going to do is after this, I will upload that talk onto the YouTube video that I've been doing, where I compile this with like some other stuff. So I'll be doing that. So I had a cute story to tell. Yesterday was Mother's Day. And, people ask me, like, does it make me really sad on Mother's Day because my mom's not here? And I give this like mechanical answer, which is no, because I feel like she's still with me. And then I question myself and I'm like, is that just like a cop out? Like, is that just me not wanting to feel her absence? Or is it like something that I've just kind of made up? And so I even talked to my grandma about it, and I said the same thing to her. And then I went to the lake with my friend, and I still didn't feel super sad, which I just said, like, I just feel like she's constantly with me. Like when I think of her, or I feel her presence. So I don't feel like there's a huge loss. It's more like when I want to physically pick up a phone and call her, or I physically want her in my life, then I feel the absence of that a little bit. So anyways, I was walking my dog, and there were so many dogs around. And there was this little white pit bull, and it like kind of grabbed my attention. And so it was like trying to see my dog, but the owner was like pulling the pit bull away. And I was kind of just, especially in this time of COVID, you don't really want to push anybody to like do something they feel uncomfortable with. So I was like, okay, obviously he doesn't want his dog to come see my dog. But then we kind of got too close, and they ended up like touching noses and like kind of saying hi to each other. And then he like, pulled his dog away, and he was like, let's go Millie, or come on Millie, or something like that. So my mom nicknamed me Millie. And it's like the thing that is just ours. Like I know 100% that is unique. Like it doesn't even relate to my name. Like, it's just completely made up. She called me Mildred for some reason. I don't even know where she really got that from. And then she made this shorter version, which was Millie. So she always would call me Millie. She would call me Millie more than she would ever call me Tara. So I thought it was pretty cool because it solidified the fact that I definitely believe there's something beyond death. And I think that, like, when we're open to that, we see things or we feel things, and you know, each to their own. I accept it. I felt it. I felt my mom's presence. I thought it was really awesome. That's how she chose to do it. So yeah, that's what happened yesterday. I also had a bit of a breakthrough this weekend. So as I've been saying, I've been starting to edit my film myself. And I've done this like many times. I have started and stopped like this editing process. I've had so many different cuts. You know, I've been working on this for 16 years. So obviously I've put a lot of effort into this. And I keep trying to tell the same story, which is interesting. And I start branching off a little, and people keep coming to me and they're like, it's about you, Tara. Like, you need to put yourself more in it. And I'm like, don't want to do that. And definitely been struggling with that. But then this weekend, I had this like breakthrough, and I was like talking to my friend about my past. And I realized how much I wanted to talk about my past. And then I realized that I keep trying to tell the same story, which is my mom. I'm trying to tell my mom's story, and I need to tell my story. So that was a pretty big breakthrough. So I don't know how that's going to look. I'm definitely going to start going down that path now that I have that new insight and see where it takes me. I've kind of always felt like I'd love this opportunity to just like get shut away from everything else and just like really connect to myself, almost like I always thought of like an artist or something, like where they just put themselves in a cabin far away and like they don't have any distractions and they get to go through these deep levels of themselves. And I've always been super curious what that would be like, and thought like that's exactly what I want. So I feel pretty blessed because I've been gifted this like beautiful house to stay in, and I really have my own space right now to do that, to get to that deeper connection. So I'm going to start doing that, and I'm excited to see where it takes me. So anyways, I'm going to make this one really short today because, like I said, I'm going to upload the footage. It was like a live Zoom thing. Thank you. It was a Zoom thing, and it got recorded, so it's like 20 minutes long, and like there was questions and stuff about the photos. So I'm excited to share that with you guys.
I am very happy to introduce Tara Dowling, and she will be presenting her work titled To the Moon and Back. Please welcome Tara Dowling.
Thanks. First, I want to thank everybody for being here, and to Pasadena Photography Arts Center for putting this on, and Rollins for including me in it and letting me know about it. So I'm going to be presenting photos from my film called To the Moon and Back. It's been a process of 16 years that I've been shooting with my mom. And I actually only started picking up photography probably over the last few years. So a lot of these photos, like about halfway in, are not my own, but I was encouraged to include them to kind of tell the story. And also some of these images are screen captures off of the footage to also tell the story. And I just wanted to say that it was very difficult for me to kind of present some of these images of my mom looking in a certain way. I think that the question of morality can sometimes come into photography or anything that you're actually capturing a person, and especially when they might not be fully aware of it or under the influence. But my mom did give me full rights to use her image as I liked, and to hope that it would help maybe at least one person. So I'm very grateful for that. And also at the end, I'm going to have a video shown that was edited by Carl, who is on the video call tonight. And so I just wanted to thank him for his editing skills and for being able to really pull out what I was trying to say with the story. So I want to thank for that. And besides all of that, I just wanted to also say that even though the content can seem quite depressing, it actually was a really beautiful story. And I'm very proud of what my mom and I were able to accomplish given the circumstances. So please enjoy.
Carl says thanks, by the way. I want to say something here. I love this photo. It's got a lot of elements to it: cinematic, storytelling, documentary, everything. And I think the reason why I love it, besides all of those, it's the human emotion. We don't even have people's faces in this shot. We just have two hands coming together. And I know this is about your mom, but this is a very poignant photo for our times now. And I think that's the beautiful thing about art, is that you can create something uh, during a different time in your life and in the world. You look back at it again during different circumstances, during a different political, social, global climate, it could take on a whole different meaning. And I just wanted to say that. Ellen, the first portrait captures so many layers of your mother. How many photographs did you take of her in the room?
Um, Probably not that many. I think maybe only I started this kind of series of photographs of her in this environment probably like 2 years ago, and I only shot for, maybe a week at most. And I mostly filmed, so I was just kind of learning about photography, and I would just kind of snap a few shots here and there. So I probably only have about 20. Yeah, her name was Kate, and she actually yeah, she wanted that room named after her.
You're very lucky to have made that photograph, Ellen. Joan says nice. Andre said the previous shot reminds him of compassion. Alex says your work is so fearless and delicate, is beautiful. Do you find that this project has changed your perception in any way?
Definitely, I think that just in general, getting to know somebody in such an intimate way, you can't help but become compassionate, and it opens your eyes to other people's struggles that you might not know of until you get that opportunity to really look inside. And I think that that's the power of filmmaking and being able to shoot and capture a moment, be in the moment.
I want to say I love this composition because it's in its unusual nature. Um, Normally, we take pictures of people, you want to get them in the shot, maybe not try to cop out their face if you want to identify them, but this is beyond just identifying who this person is. It's what they're going through and what the photographer is going through, because this is a very personal project to you. So I love how it's composed in such a, a different way from when you would normally photograph a person.
I had a good photography teacher. I like that teacher.
Let's see. Robert says power of the crop. Exactly. Joan says great one. Oh, what was she going through? That's a question from
In
Joan.
that moment, so you'll see it later on in some of the images, but she was very sick. And so she was really just kind of resting a lot. She had very little energy. And she may have been sleeping at that moment, or she just might have been kind of in her head, but I think she was sleeping.
Right. Andre, great details with the strands of hair. Yes. Sir Crispy, the quiet desperation of every image is equally tragic and beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, another question about this shot. Robert's asking the writing on the wall.
Good observation. So that my mom had a hard time kind of remembering things. So she'd often like write little notes to herself. And a really cute moment about this image is she used to write notes for when I would come back to visit her. I would tell her to write down songs so that I could bring the song to her or that she wanted to hear.
Oh, that's great.
I just want to speak about this image actually.
Yeah, sure.
Something really cute is I like high heels. My mom never wore high heels, and so I would bring her things that just to show her what I had, and she saw the high heel and she said, "Give it to me." She put it on. That's why she's only got one high heel. She wasn't going to be wearing them. She just wanted to try them on.
It's great. Comment from David, lucky to have a home.
Definitely.
Oh.
It was a women's kind of facility for, wasn't quite a hospice level. It was before that. Fine.
Beautiful shot said by Joan. From summer, touching and tender moments most of us don't get to see or experience, for that matter.
Okay.
Misty, you can really see her life force in this image. Laura, playful shot. Alex, I'm stuck by the difference between these earlier shots and later shots in that there's so much writing and symbology on the walls in the later shots. But in these, there's just immediate life. From Summer, this is like an image from Time magazine. And that is the last still image of the presentation. Wonderful. We have one more thing, which is the video. Do you want to say anything before I play?
Do you want me to reply to Douglas?
Okay, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So I could only read half of it. I think he asked me if about the reverse of the order.
Yeah.
I had some help from Rollins in figuring that one out, so thank you for that. I think it was a lot more powerful to kind of come at it from that angle, because we often think we can see somebody, or we make an observation about somebody and we think that we know it. And then when we look behind it all, you really get this other sense of somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Michael Dolphin, intriguing reverse order. All right, this video has some sound also, so it's coming at you right now.
When did you start doing drugs?
Started opiates at 9, and I started cocaine at 15, 1975. I've never been off of opiates in my life, never. I'm really tired of this life, and nothing's positive in it. You want to see me get high?
She's a junkie, a drug addict, good for nothing. She's good for something, you know, everyone's good for something. I just want to help her, I want to do something.
I was okay with what I was and what I did, but I'm so ashamed of myself. Sucking on a stupid butt in front of my baby.
People have so many misunderstandings about what addiction is, and my mom and I have so much love for each other, and we've been able to build this relationship. And I felt like if I just was able to capture that on film, that other people would see that it's possible.
I don't know your society. I don't know your life. I don't know what people are like. I only know the crazy, wild, drug addict life, and life on the street, and life in you know, I only know drug life.
It's been so surreal for me because I live this model lifestyle, which is traveling around the world, and then I come home and I have this completely different reality, which is poverty and addiction. And you know, I've been accepting that you're an addict.
You've been really good.
I know, but almost too good, because now you're really comfortable with me doing it.
No, I'm not comfortable.
You don't do it in front of me, but you know that I'm not going to react, and I don't know if that's healthy.
About you. Hey, Di, it's Katie. Hey, can I get 20?
Every day and every night, every morning, everything, your thoughts are all consumed by dope. That's all you have on your mind 24/7.
My daughter, Katie, is an addict. It's very, very easy to depict all the things that are wrong, but how do we depict that which is good, that which is kind, that which is compassionate, that which is wholesome?
What's one thing you want to achieve before you die?
Wake up one morning without having to have any substance in my body and listen to 4 of my children snoring in their beds. Isn't that the most beautiful picture you can see? Mm-hmm. It'll happen. I'll have that dream one day. I know it. Who loves ya? Mom, how much? To the moon and back.
Wow. Thank you for that. Amazing. And for Tara. $1 million question is it completed? And if so, where and when can we see the full documentary?
So it's not completed. I'm actually in the process of editing it myself because the funding fell through that I originally had to move forward with it. So that's okay because I know the footage so well, and I think that I'll be able to do this. But I do have a website. It is listed there, and you can follow the process. And I'm doing little videos weekly that are just kind of stories from times with my mom. And I just started kind of cutting in some of that footage from those times as well. So I'm constantly creating content, and I wanted to create the film into something that was more than just a documentary. I wanted it to be like a platform to have an opportunity to discuss many topics that are surrounding addiction. So yeah.
Learned a lot, not all about technical. Yeah, and we try not to keep it all about the technical. We kind of want to talk about the inspiration, the stories behind the work that's presented. And in the end, what I found from doing this and just being photography, it all kind of comes down into humanity, and it all kind of just revolves around that. So I think, thank you again, Michael, for your contribution. Appreciate it. Robert, a very good, rich, meaningful show. Thanks to you and all the artists. Thank you so much. Thank you.